the three key pillars of financial planning: accumulation, decumulation, and wealth transfer, are something that will be part of, or the whole of, everybody's financial plan. But that point when you get to transfer, the intergenerational piece, it's really important to take, and you've heard this from me before, an all asset approach. What is possible in practice depends on what you've actually got in practice. Rather than talking the theory of use your annual rate band, use your annual exemptions, use all of that, then it depends on what you've got to determine the extent to which you can use those exemptions and allowances to make lifetime transfers in the way in which you want to make them. Because of course, our good friends at HMRC and Treasury have introduced some really, really powerful and effective rules to stop you transferring an asset away, but keeping the safety net of having access to it if you should need it in the future, if things go a bit wrong, or having continued access to something, but that thing being outside of your estate for inheritance tax. They're called the gift with reservation rules, supplemented by the pre-owned assets tax rules. Not going to talk about those in detail here. You know how they work. You give something away, broadly speaking, and continue to reserve a benefit, either current or future, from that asset that you've given away, legally, I would say, then it isn't going to work for inheritance tax, even though it will have worked legally. You can give the asset away, it will belong to that person, just be included in your estate for inheritance tax. And it's difficult to overcome them with lifetime gifts, especially lifetime gifts of property, because that's what the HMRC were really aiming at when they introduced that legislation, predominantly anyway. It's not really needed, lifetime planning, that much with pensions, because they're largely outside of your estate, or business or agricultural property that qualifies for business relief and agricultural relief. When it comes to cash, then there are plans that you know you can do, that you can take, that you can make, to give assets away to and ensure that less is included in your taxable estate when the time comes to levy the tax, largely on death, but retain some access to those assets. And we know that those plans work. You know, plans like the loan trust, where if your main requirement is to retain access to the original capital, you can do that by being a creditor and let the growth occur outside your estate. If your main requirement is to retain a flow of money from your investments, then you can do that with a discounted gift trust. Both of those things work. They've been tried and tested. Most of those plans available to you now, certainly all of loan trusts and most discounted gift trusts, certainly those that were in the market available to you before 2018, when the extended DOTAS rules come in, will avoid DOTAS. So the key thing here is that what goes inside those plans is really important to make them work smoothly and efficiently. And what goes inside most of those plans, big reminder here, is an investment bond, onshore or offshore, depending on your circumstances. It protects you from the very harsh world of tax charges on trusts, the harshest of worlds, I would say, the highest rate of income tax on dividends, on interest, on rental income, on capital gains, only half the CGT exemption. Why would you not want to avoid that? And you can with investing through a bond. If that protective wrapper of the bond gives you protection from those charges and gives you the ability to manage the tax charge when the time comes under the trust. So much smoother and easier administration, but more importantly than that, much more tax efficiency. So the key thing here is, when it comes to, I've talked about accumulation and decumulation in other videos and taking an all asset approach. When it comes to estate planning with those kind of plans, then it's almost certainly always going to be a bond that serves you best.